These pages were built without writing a single line of code, using a WordPress plugin called Elementor. In the next 8 minutes, I'll show you the interface and the 4 elements you need to know to build basically any layout. Let's go! Elementor screen breaks into 3 zones: a top bar, a left panel, and your website in the middle. Let's take them one at a time. On the left panel, when nothing is selected, it shows your elements library. Every element you can drag and drop into the page: headings, buttons, images, and more. When you drag and drop an element, this panel turns into its editor, always with 3 tabs: Content, Style, and Advanced. Content is where you edit the text, add the link, or select an image if you're using the image element. It's basically the actual content inside of the element. Style is to edit fonts, sizes, colors, backgrounds, and borders, for example. Advanced is to add margins, paddings, motion effects like animations, and custom transforms like rotate, for example. Each element can also have its own specific options, but it will always be under these 3 tabs: Content, Style, and Advanced. The center is your live canvas. Click on any element to edit on the left panel. You can also click on this plus icon to add a new container for a new section. It will give you a few layout options to start. Click on the dots to edit the container element on the left, or drag and drop to change the order. Click on the X to delete. You can also right-click on any element and you get this menu that allows you to edit, duplicate, copy and paste elements and styles, for example. The structure panel is your layers or elements list. If it's not open, you can click on this icon at the top right. It shows your page as a tree of elements. My advice is to keep this open, either floating or stacked to the side all the time, so you know exactly what you're editing. The structure panel is great for selecting elements buried inside others or reorganizing the page when it gets busy. You can also right-click the elements from here to get the options menu, or drag and drop to change its order. On the top left, you've got your core controls. This plus icon opens the element selection for you to drag and drop to the page. The document icon opens the page settings. It contains the title, status, featured image, page layout, and other settings for this specific page we are editing. If you're using Astra theme, which I highly recommend, this A is your Astra theme settings, which allows you to change the container layout or change a sidebar setting if you have one on the page. It allows you to hide the header and footer for a landing page, for example. You can also enable settings like the transparent header. The clock icon contains your actions and revisions. It keeps track of every single change you do so you can revert back any unwanted changes. On the center top, 2 things. This dropdown is your page switcher. Jump between pages or create a new one without leaving the editor. And these 3 icons are the responsive toggles for desktop, tablet, and mobile. Click on each one to design how the page looks on each device. Now on the top right, the megaphone is what's new. It shows new features and updates from Elementor. The magnifying glass is the finder to help you search on any page or setting. This stacked icon opens the structure panel as we saw before. I suggest you always keep this visible. The eye icon is to preview the page, and the big button, Publish, pushes your changes live. You can also save the page as draft or as a template you can reuse. Elementor has tons of elements you can drag and drop, but you do not need to learn everything when you start. Master these 4 and you can build most layouts: container, heading, button, and image. I'll give you a quick overview. The container is the most important element on any page. Those are the boxes that hold everything. With this element, you can build sections, columns, and grids. It controls layout, how things sit side by side or stack, alignment, and spacing. You can use it to create simple and complex layouts. Let's see this in practice. Here I have a container with 3 child containers. I have set a different color and height for each so it's easier to see how this works. If we edit the main parent container, you'll see under Items that we have the direction set as row horizontal. If I change this, the child elements will have a different layout. You can justify the content in different ways, and you can also align items in different ways. Use gaps to increase the spacing between the child elements. You can also use the wrap option to break into multiple lines. At the top, you have the container layout set as Flexbox. For now, keep using Flexbox until you learn how it works, but you can also set this as grid. The content width is either boxed or full width, and you can also set the content width with a specific value and have a minimum height. The Container Style tab allows you to set backgrounds like solid colors, gradients, video, or even a slider with multiple images. On the Advanced tab, you have margin and padding to set spacing. You can also add motion effects like fade-in animations, or even rotate the element using the Transform option. The Responsive option allows you to hide an element on different devices if needed. The Heading element is your text, titles, subtitles, and paragraphs. Type your words on the Content tab, set the tag from heading 1 to 6, and it can also be a paragraph. You can set the font family, the size, color, and much more in the Style tab. You have the same padding, margin, motion effects, and transform as you have on the container, but there is also background, borders, and mask. The button drives action on your website, like book a call or view programs. Set the text, the link it points to, and its styles, like colors, sizes, borders. Buttons are a great element to add hover animations on the Style tab. And you can also have an extra entrance animation with motion effects. Images bring any website to life. Without good images, your website looks boring. This could be photos, logos, and other graphics. Upload, drop it to the page, and change its size. Add masks for different shapes, rounded borders, or motion effects to make them even more engaging. Now here's the part that saves you hours. You just learned the 4 building elements, but you don't always have to build from scratch. If you combine Elementor with Astra Theme plus its Starter Templates plugin, you don't just get sections, you get entire pre-built websites. Hundreds of complete designs for any niche in a couple of clicks. From there, it's your turn. Swap the text, drop your photos, change the colors to match your brand, and you've got a finished website in a fraction of the time. And if you only need one piece, a pricing table, a testimonial section, or an FAQ, you can import a single pattern instead of a full site, because all of it is built from the same containers, headings, buttons, and images. Editing it feels exactly like everything you just learned. If you still feel that you need more clarification of how WordPress works, please watch this video. And if you actually want to build a full page step by step, I made this complete Elementor tutorial covering the whole process. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe for more content like this. Thanks for watching.